Athens, Georgia. Packed up all my things and told you goodbye.
Well, those are cool shoes, Parker.
Oh, thank you. I got these for Christmas. My mom got them for me. She, yeah, I had a pair of boots before these that were 6 years old, and I finally had to ask for new ones because the zipper was broken and on top. But I still
You're still wearing them.
I was still wearing them, so it was a gamble every time I put them on. I was like, I might have to cut these off, but it was worth it. And then now
Are these the same brand?
Yeah.
What brand are they?
Aldo.
They're so cool.
They
are
not bad. They'll last a long time, and they're not like really, really expensive. I mean, to last 6 years, these were probably like 120.
Yeah.
Which
About
some people.
Doc Martens kind of price.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll last you a long time. I kind of want Doc Martens, but I feel like that train has left the station for me.
Yeah, everybody has them.
Yeah, and it's like, now do I want to be like everybody else? I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're a classic for a reason too.
I know. And I feel like they will continue to be a classic.
Yeah.
The train in general has not left the station.
Right.
No.
True.
Not in general.
Just
Just
your
for
train
me.
has
I'm
left the
old. I'm an old man. You guys always got a nice shoe game too. These
thank
Converses
you.
are sweet.
Thank you.
The Nikes.
Oh yeah.
You guys have your own style. Where did that come from? Was it ever thought of, or did it just happen?
Probably the thrift store mostly.
Yeah.
America's Thrifts.
Yeah, I feel like it was like a combination between us just, I don't know, thrifting and really enjoying thrifting, and then also having shows and being like, oh, this would look sick on stage, and kind of being a little more out there with our style for that purpose. And then we had we have a stylist named KB who I feel like initially got us out of our shells a lot.
For sure.
In style.
Was it nerve-wracking at first to wear some of that stuff?
It was just kind of like, wow, we'd never think to put these together. And then in photos, they looked incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like we wouldn't normally wear something that we didn't feel comfortable in, though.
Right.
It would be, the nerve-wracking part would be trying to put it together and being like, this isn't going to work. And then it was exciting when it actually looked kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the glitter as well. I almost thought about asking y'all to bring some so that we could all wear it for the 150th celebration.
Happy 150th.
Yes, thank you guys for having me on.
Exciting.
I was like, who am I going to ask for the 150th? And this just worked out perfectly. So I'm glad you guys got to come on and celebrate with me. And it's going to be a good one. And let's talk about also why you picked David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust as the album of choice to display here. You can watch us on YouTube as well if you're listening. See our beautiful faces and the beautiful album cover here, and the train that will go by, I'm sure, about 3 times.
Love. Choo-choo. Well, we are both big David Bowie fans for many reasons. For music and for his performance and for his fashion. Speaking of, I feel like we pull some of our fashion from David
glitter.
Bowie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that man loves his glitter.
And Moon Age Daydream is on here, and our band once also learned Moon Age Daydream.
It's true.
There's a lot of good songs on here. But we did. We were gonna play it. We learn a lot of covers that we're going to play that we never play.
Okay, like
but
what?
Moon Age Daydream.
Yeah, that one.
We did. Well, we added in the Killer song for a little bit. Mm-hmm. We've been thinking about. We've learned Come Together.
Yeah.
We've learned Use Me.
Yeah. Some songs from the Shrek soundtrack.
Oh, yep.
Ooh.
2 songs from the Shrek soundtrack.
Which ones?
Accidentally in Love and...
Is that Counting Crows?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one we did actually a lot in February on tour.
Yeah.
Which is very
for
fun
better or
me.
for worse.
Yeah. It was like half the shows, it would be a total hit, and people would be like, yeah, when we played the riff, and then half of them people would just be like, cool. And when people are just like cool and you're playing a Shrek song, it's weird.
That's wild that they wouldn't go nuts for that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that song.
I know. And then what was the other one from the Shrek?
It wasn't I'm a Believer. It was it? No.
All Star?
No.
I always
That would be a
forget
good
it.
one.
It's the one that the Monkees did.
It's not I'm a Believer?
I think it is.
That's one of the only other ones
Yeah,
I
you're right.
remember.
It is I'm a Believer.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So some classics. You guys dressed up as Shrek for
We
Halloween.
did. That's the reason we learned them
Nice.
initially, because we had a Shrek themed show on Halloween. That was pretty wild.
Did you guys fight over who was going to be who?
No, I think, well, Jess definitely was like, we're going to be Shrek and I'm going to be Shrek.
Yeah,
and
I did lay some really strong claims.
that
Like,
was-
here's my boundaries here.
Yeah, so that was like all really new going in, and then it was kind of like a free for all.
Right.
Whoever wanted
Yeah.
to be. And then Gideon was
Gideon
he really wanted
demanded
to
to
be
be
Fiona.
Yeah, he rocked it. But he was ogre Fiona, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Once she's
Obviously.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Her
I couldn't
true self.
remember. I just remember him being green. I was like, he definitely was the ogre Fiona.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he's just regular Fiona.
Okay. That's just, he's green
He just
all the
is
time.
green. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was Donkey?
That's the thing. We tried to get
Lucas.
Lucas to be Donkey.
Okay.
If you're watching this, you were supposed to be Donkey.
Lucas. Come
But
on.
he thought that the gingerbread man would be better.
Oh,
and
wait. Okay.
it worked
That's a good
out.
one.
It did work
Yeah,
out.
Did
yeah,
work
yeah.
out.
Nice.
And I was Puss in Boots.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
She killed it.
Aaron was Lord Farquaad.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's a pretty all-star lineup. It
Yeah.
is sad you no Donkey though.
I know. You could have been Donkey.
I could have been. Yeah, it's true.
You could have done a costume change.
Donkey costume
halfway
is kind
through.
of boring though, because it's just
Yeah, it's just gray. We were
Right.
like
I guess
DIYing
so,
them,
yeah.
so we were like, it would have taken a lot.
Yeah,
to-
it just
to
would have been
pull
a
off
gray,
donkey costume.
a gray onesie,
Yeah,
like,
a sweatsuit,
some patch of hair or something like the mane.
Yeah.
Might be kind of weird
some
though.
ears.
But Shrek aside, let's talk about the music. I wanted to talk about Enjoy Your Stay, that new EP. It sounds amazing. I was listening to it a lot over the last few days. And what you guys and Tommy came up with is just incredible. How does it feel now that we're about maybe 6 months after the release? Like, I know feelings can change around after you put something out. Like, the way you look at a song can be very different. So 6 months out, how do you guys feel about the project, where it's at, where you guys are mentally or creatively? There we go. That's the word. How do you feel like it fits within y'all's career at the moment?
I mean, it's funny that you say songs change over time, because I feel like we've been talking about that a lot lately.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we have.
And definitely some of the songs have new personal meanings to us. But in terms of like how they kind of fit into our vision still, kind of what you're saying, like I feel like they've really become our live set, you know? Our other stuff is still in our live set, but the new EP right now feels like some of the most important songs that we play live and the most like fulfilling, which
Yeah.
is really cool.
Yeah, and it's really cool now that people know them, because we toured so long on them without having them out. So going to like Gainesville the other day and people singing like, I don't know, Athens is just still so bizarre to me, because I'm like, wait, you guys aren't supposed to know this song. It's unreleased. But
No,
Right.
totally. We toured on them for like a year before
Wow.
we released them, just because we were touring a lot and writing a lot and couldn't really catch up with our recorded music. It was taking a lot of time. So that's kind of a difference now, because we're staying touring on this stuff, and I feel like we're sort of waiting to tour most of the new stuff, but we're
Okay.
gonna add some stuff in at some point.
Gotcha. New stuff that's not on this
Yes.
EP. Ooh.
Yes.
So what can you tell us about that? Where's that at in the process right now?
well, I think
Early
different things are
stages.
different stages.
There's lots of fun surprises.
Yeah, we have
coming.
a lot of fun surprises coming. Yeah, a lot of unreleased stuff. Some finished, close
Some
to be,
unfinished.
some unfinished,
Some dreadfully unfinished.
some coming, some coming soon, maybe.
Yes.
But overall, we got some new tunes in the works.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
we're ready.
And we're hopefully getting back soon to keep working on them in your home.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, in our home here.
You heard a lot of these songs
I
just
have.
reverberating through the
I
walls.
feel like-
yeah, I've heard the low end of a lot of the songs from the other side of this wall.
I feel like we also met you when we were working on our first EP, or the
Yes.
Yes.
EP, and
Yes.
you were there for like most of the recording process.
Yes, I got to. witness you guys working on Athens, Georgia, which is still probably my favorite song from that EP, which maybe part of it is like the memory of hearing
Personal
that for the first time and being like, what the fuck are these girls doing? This is crazy. It reminded me a lot of like just a banger Coldplay song.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was also the same day we realized we both went to Chicago Joe's
Still blows my mind.
Years and years ago.
I met somebody, I think at Sweetwater Fest, that was like, we know each other, but we don't know each other from a long time ago because we went to Chicago Joe's camp, and I was
Does
like,
that happen to you often? Like random people from your Chicago Joe's days? Because you were there a long time.
Weirdly, more often in the last year. Yeah, I was there a long time. You and then one other person in Athens and then this person are pretty much the three people I can remember.
Gotcha.
So not that many.
Okay, so just a few.
But all in the last year.
Oh, okay, that is kind of weird.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Is.
All the ghosts coming back to haunt you.
What a fun time.
But regarding this EP, do you guys, off the top of your mind, remember a song that was like the most challenging to record? And then by the end of it, you're like,
oh, yeah.
I can't believe we got through that one.
Definitely Allure.
Allure.
That was so tough.
So we started Allure, I think, as our second song after Astronaut Kids. So like it was supposed to be on the first record.
Oh, okay.
But we went through 3 different versions, pretty much start to finish, 3 brand new songs.
Wow.
So if you're listening to this, Tommy, thanks for your incredible patience.
Thank you, Tommy.
Yeah, that's when he was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's like third one's the charm because I'm not doing a fourth.
No, but I think on the second one, he was like, it's done now too. And then we just, like a year later, we're like, you remember when we said it was done?
Yeah, it's really hard though because there was so many aspects of the first one and the second one we both liked. And so then we kept taking so much time in between them and we realized the second one was missing a lot of aspects from the first recording, and also it was just too different from the way we play it live that we were like, okay, we have to go back to the roots of this song.
Yeah, like sometimes especially when something doesn't feel right, I feel like you're inclined to just add more or make it a lot weirder.
Yeah.
And I feel like after doing that, we realized, let's just take a step back for a second to how we would like play this in a room with our friends, and then when like those bones are there, add on more of like the cool creative stuff.
Yeah,
it was a really hard song though because it has so much energy live and it's very hard to match that angst in the recording.
Right.
Yeah, we were trying like screaming in the kitchen.
Yeah, and that is like in the bridge. It's
I think
there
it is somewhere. We tried a lot. Yeah, it's like...
So you were playing that live a lot more before you actually brought it into the studio.
Oh, yeah. We played it live for almost 3 years before it came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did people know it, though? Like, before it was out, since you played it that long?
Athens people.
Yeah, definitely in Athens.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's, like, funny. So, that song, I'm pretty sure one of the first times we played it, when we had written it, Jade had this Yamaha piano and there was this like drum beat that would come in, and so we used to like mostly play as an acoustic duo, like especially when we were just starting out. We played a few shows as an acoustic duo, and so she would always like hit the drums and then they'd come in and we were playing this house show and she hit the drums and everyone was just like, oh my god.
It was just like Ba-dum-bum.
And then I remember Elijah after went up to me and he was like, that was so cool. And that's when I knew it was cool.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And this was for Allure?
Yeah.
It was,
Hell
yeah. So that's just one of the versions that I went through live too.
So when you actually got the right version you wanted, like what was there that you felt was missing from the other two?
I guess like the first version was kind of special in a way that it was kind of garage rocky, where it was kind of sloppy but it had the heart there.
Yeah.
The second one was very dream poppy, I guess.
Yeah.
And like, but we recently, I don't know if we're allowed to say this, but whatever. I don't know. We recently are working on some like reimagined songs in the studio.
I was just about to ask if if
Maybe
those
there's
will
a
ever
fourth
see the light of
version.
day. Yeah, we'll never know.
So we
never
actually
know.
went back in and did a fourth version
We
of
did.
Allure.
Okay.
So
Hell yeah, let's
yeah, we
go.
have acoustic Allure coming, which
Which is bringing it all
it
together.
scratched the itch that the other version did as
Got
well.
you.
With
So
some
we'll get an
similar
acoustic
chords and
version
stuff.
soon.
Yeah,
Maybe it's meant to have 2 versions.
I think so.
Yeah,
feel
why
like-
not?
And one day maybe we'll release all the versions.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Its own little E EP.
Extended. Another thing that was hard was the guitar tone was just impossible to find.
Really?
Like, yeah, I feel like Jade and I were both just not satisfied with anything we were getting out of the guitar tone. Like, we tried direct in, we tried amps, different pedals, and I still don't even know if it was perfect, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, you never really do. That's the problem.
it's guitar tone is hard.
Yeah, there's an infinite amount of choices.
Yeah, and I feel like my brain sometimes wants to be less risky. You know, like, don't add too many effects, don't make it too
Right.
crazy. But then also the like crazy effects are sort of like what make that tone for that song that you remember. So there's like a balance of wanting to add something cool that makes it unique, but also wanting it to be just like a solid rock guitar tone.
Wanting
I
it to be
guess.
timeless, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, timeless is a good word.
Where you don't look back and say, "Oh, that was a weird phase" or whatever.
Yeah, like all that reverb. Really?
Yeah.
Cathedral Hall on this one?
Totally.
What it made you guys, when you were recording this, what was the breakthrough to get over that hump of challenges and really get something that you loved? Was it one thing, or was it just a culmination of different changes?
I think it was just like a culmination of different changes, taking stuff
Yeah.
in and out and realizing, okay, I feel like we just like kind of stripped it all back. And then after we did that, realized what stuff we wanted to put back in and what stuff was important.
Yeah.
Like, we just kept simplifying it. And then
Yes.
finally we got to the most simple version that we were like, okay, we can add some of this stuff back and like it and stuff.
Yeah.
So reducing a lot
Reducing.
until you had the bare bones,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then building back up a little bit.
Yeah.
That always seems like a tried and true way.
Yeah.
Taking it back down to its basics and then gradually adding a few things here and there to see if they're necessary or not.
Totally.
And I feel like it's very simple now, maybe. Even though there's a lot of like cool tricks and stuff, it's like it's really just like guitar, drums, vocals,
Yeah.
some synth.
Mm-hmm.
And we just like, if we have the time, we'll go crazy with it, you know?
Yeah.
And there's no like stopping point necessarily. So I feel like for that song specifically, taking it back was important, but it would always like, when you get used to a mix, when you take something out, you're like, where's that thing? So then you
Right.
have to like readjust to it and be like, okay, this is the new mix now and I like it this way. And then take something else out and be like, oh, I kind of miss that thing, but is it just
Right.
because it was cool and it's not really necessary? You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
So that took a lot of time.
Yeah, and I feel like you do need to take that time because everything I've done has been like, it's all tracked within a day or two or a few days, and then there's no going back, which can be nice, but at the
got
same
pros
time,
and
a few
cons.
months
Can't go
later,
back.
you're like, maybe I shouldn't have had that in there, but I can't go back and take it out just by the way, like, of how I was set up.
Right.
But yeah, like being able to gradually take something away and figure out, okay, do I really like that, or am I just used to hearing it?
Right. Well, also one of the problems, like you're saying, is that we kept getting older and more mature. And this song, like we would have recorded the most recent version 6 months ago. And then it's like
Right.
listening to it back, we had put it on the shelf and we're like, oh, now all of this we would change.
Right.
But it was also just that we were also getting older and like our
Tastes
music
were
senses were
changing.
changing.
Yeah.
Totally, like the same thing could have happened with any song on our first EP.
Right.
Totally.
And like that's kind of the beauty of them too. Like Astronaut Kids, if we re-recorded it now,
Oh gosh,
it would be
so different.
so different.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like do it all in one period or one day, then you have like the magic of that time. Even if looking back, you're like, I would change a lot of things about this.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it is a time capsule,
Yeah.
which can be nice, but yeah, of course, you're always gonna have that like, if I could go back and change that one thing, you would.
Yeah, it's true.
But I feel like that's also a lesson in don't overthink things too much to the point where you don't put it out. Because you're
Totally.
always gonna, no matter what, you'll always look back on it and think, man, I probably should have changed that thing, because we grow and our tastes change, and sometimes you think something you did back in the day was cheesy, but at that moment you're like, this rules.
Exactly. It's like when you take such a long time apart from the songs and then listen back, you're like, can kind of almost listen to it as if you're a new listener,
Right?
which is a cool feeling.
It's so true. You hear less of just like the criticisms of your own imperfections and more just like, oh, this is a cool song.
Right. Where do you guys see yourself going creatively in the future, like with your taste having probably changed a little bit in the last 6 months, and then I'm sure over the next 6 months or a year, you know, where would you like to see yourself going in terms of sound?
That's a great question.
I feel like there's so many directions.
There is.
Taste changing usually means them just expanding, which means more directions to go in, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
like any artists that have like really opened your eyes to what's possible in recent memory.
I feel like there's been a lot of, like, we were talking about this the other day, like female artists that have been really inspiring lately, that are kind of, I don't know, like really good at being angsty, I guess. Like Indigo D'Souza or Blonde Shell, that just like, I don't know, just like the rawness, I guess, of that kind of music is really cool.
Very like cool guitar tones there too.
Yeah.
Very rock.
And it's interesting because I feel like I'm hearing a lot of music kind of go in that direction. Yeah. I feel like female artists were really folky for a while, like Phoebe Bridgers style, but now they're kind of getting like a little more angsty, and I don't really know if we fit in either of those perfectly, but which is like not like I don't want to fit into that, but it's cool to take inspiration from that.
Yeah.
I feel like that, and also kind of early 2000s indie rock. We've been listening, I feel like thinking about the songs we've been recording to kind of like Arcade Fire or Modest Mouse. Like
kind of like not stadium rock, but like just like stuff that, like is iconic, like Heroes by David Bowie.
Yeah.
Or like
some synthy cool
like
stuff.
big statement songs.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that combined with angsty female rock is where we're heading. Does that sound could be.
But
like
yeah,
epic angsty vibes.
Also the way I've kind of seen it is like our first album was very nostalgic and about the past and stuff, and our latest album was very about like the present moment and what we were going through, and I feel like this next one is about the future.
I agree. I could see that.
That's awesome. It seems like a trilogy in that way, though.
Yeah. We gotta make more than 3.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
What happens after the future?
After the future,
we all die.
You meet back at the past again.
Back to the future.
Yeah, it's
back to the future. Yeah, there you go. But that's cool. Do you guys like Soccer Mommy?
Yes.
That's like perfect. Somebody who's great at writing the line of like angsty, but it doesn't come off as like, I don't know, Avril Lavigne. I mean, shout out to Avril Lavigne by the way.
We love Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, she rules. But yeah, Soccer Mommy's great. Do you guys have like any specific artists that you feel like are touchstones for you, like always have been there for you, and like artists you can always fall back on to get inspiration from?
I mean, I feel like for both of us, we're always going to use some Beatles inspiration.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, that'll be what takes us in weird directions or kind of, like, makes us think about changing things or making them more interesting.
Yeah. The best to ever do it.
Truly.
And they have, like, just so many different kinds of music, you know, which is, I feel like what we strive for also is, like, we're totally going to make a folk record one day.
Yeah.
Right.
We've talked about this. We don't know when. It's going to be...
It'll happen, though.
In the mountains somewhere.
Yeah.
we're banking the songs, you know.
That would be sick. Yeah, rent a cabin
Totally.
Yeah.
or
It's
something.
the dream.
That would be so cool.
Some field recordings.
Yes.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Tommy has said one day when we can, we're all gonna make an album like at a destination spot.
Yeah.
You know?
Once
Oh,
we're all
for sure.
super rich, we're just gonna like bring Tommy to our New Zealand hideaway.
Yeah.
Right, with our sheep.
With your sheep
Yeah.
and your shepherds. That would be, incredible. New Zealand would be the spot to do it because there's like nobody there.
I know, right?
Yeah. Peaceful.
But also Pink Floyd, I think, and
Yeah.
lately Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, we've been
Nice.
on a big Fleetwood Mac
Really?
kick.
We have, yeah. We've been.
I have watched Daisy Jones and the Six, and that's been making
Everybody's
me think about
talking
Fleetwood
about
Mac.
that.
Yeah.
And
Is
I've
it
been
basically
reading
just
the book.
about Fleetwood Mac? Like, I mean, quote unquote.
Pretty
It is, but it
loosely,
isn't.
But
It's like loose, but also like the songs in the TV show are so inspired by Fleetwood Mac. And
Yeah.
so I feel like I've been trying to kind of learn more of the details of the story just in general of the actual band because I feel like a lot of details are very similar.
yeah, I think it makes you curious about the true lore of the band. So
Right.
reading it makes you read about Fleetwood Mac too.
I know.
Gotcha.
So I've been
It's
listening
very
to that
interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome. My mom, for her work, she works for a software company, but they, one of their customers is Crossley, the record,
the record player?
the suitcase record player one.
Yeah.
And just for whatever reason, they sent her one with Rumors on vinyl.
Oh,
Which was
heck
like,
yeah.
wait, what the hell? That's the coolest gift, business gift you could have ever gotten.
That's awesome.
That's so sick.
That's a good album to pick. you
Yeah,
know?
of course. It's very, it's classic. Like, everybody loves that.
Mm-hmm.
Be like
Yeah.
giving somebody Abbey Road.
Yeah.
Although I feel like more people would be quick to be like, Abbey Road, that's too,
know.
which is a shame.
Well, it's also, I feel like Rumors is somehow less offensive in general. It's more
Yeah.
pleasing to everyone, even though Abbey Road isn't offensive at all. It's one of the best
No.
records, but it's some people it might be too weird for them or too
Right.
Beatles. I don't know.
Yeah, two Beatles.
Two Beatles.
I feel like-
I can't imagine
The
that.
quintessential.
I don't know
Beatles.
one person that doesn't like Fleetwood Mac.
I know.
you
It's
know?
so agreeable.
I know somebody that would be like, fuck the Beatles, just to say it. Just
Yeah,
to be
it's-
the
they
guy.
Justin, if you're listening to this.
Justin, we're calling you
It's
out.
like they just want to be not. They want to be different.
They want to be different. They want to be
Yeah.
contrarian.
Contrarians.
That's the
That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, were they really that good? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
were,
they were.
dude. and then
Hop
some.
on this train. It's worth hopping on.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Since you guys have been doing this for a long time, what is it? Maybe 6? I mean, you've been playing for a long time, but as Hotel Fiction, it's been what? Maybe 4 years?
4. Yeah.
I think we
Okay.
just had our bandiversary.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's been
Just
4
had
and not 3, right?
4.
It had to have been.
We've been saying it's 3 for the past year, so I think it's 4 now.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Maybe. We started our sophomore year of college.
Yeah, so that would track being 4.
And we were 20, so we're 24 now.
There you go.
It's pretty wild.
So 4 years is a long time to be in one project. If you could go back and tell yourself right at the beginning one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, oh gosh, you go first.
That's tough. Because part of me thinks that I just needed to learn it all on my own,
Sure.
and I wouldn't really want to change how everything happened.
I think I would say there were just so many things, especially starting out, that I agonized over and that we both did. I think in some ways that's what made it powerful, though, is that we both cared so much about it. But it'd be we'd play a show and I'd just replay in my head a million times the thing that went wrong, and
Yeah, we were very hard on ourselves.
we were very hard on ourselves. Or even in a song, we would really agonize over the mixes and continue to do so. But but I feel when you're in a project for this long, the biggest thing I've realized is that especially in those show moments where things go wrong, it really will just be in the past one day and something that you'll kind of laugh at and be like, I can't believe we were so concerned about that.
Totally,
How show we did.
mistakes just happen every single day. You can't think too hard about them and let them haunt you.
Yeah.
So,
And I was really letting a lot of them haunt me, I think. So,
mm-hmm.
and I still do. So, I guess I'm telling myself that.
Right. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
easy in the moment to get hung up on the things that are driving you crazy, but in 2 weeks you won't even think about.
I know. Yeah.
I think it was a very magical time though, because we were still in college and our friends were all there,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we knew that it was fleeting always.
No.
What part of it was fleeting?
Just like we still have a community here, but I guess our like friend group and just
The gals.
yeah,
Gals, the ladies.
we're just surrounded by men. Yeah, it's music scene these days, which is fine. We love our boys, but
Dude fest.
yeah, but now just our best friends, they all live in different parts of the country or
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever, and so it's just kind of sad to not have them there, but
It was very beautiful, like, that we would play a show and our parents would be there, all of our gal best friends would be there. It would be something, like, crazy new for us and meaningful. And then the whole music scene, a lot of friends from the music scene would be there. Maybe even, like, school friends that we had met in class. Just, like, all of our worlds combining at once
Right.
was really fun and special. And that can't really happen as much anymore because that's a
Yeah.
very college.
honestly the
Yeah.
closest thing we have to that now is playing in New York City
It's true.
Oh, really?
instead of Athens, because it's where a lot of our friends went after college.
Oh.
And so it feels like that my brother lives there, we all have
Lily,
different
Sarah,
people from different
Madison.
walks of life that come together, I think.
Yeah.
Are you planning on going there soon?
We are. Yeah, we're going.
Maybe a little tour coming up?
June.
June tour.
I think the 15th, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I think
was
it has a 6 in it. 26?
16th?
6
maybe one of those days.
Gosh.
Yeah. Look it up if you're
Yeah,
listening.
let's check it out. Let's
Yeah, I'll look
rattle
into
some
it.
dates off so everybody knows when to come see you guys.
Sick. It's a good call. We should know this.
Yeah, we got to get the plug in here. Also, almost at 10,000 followers, so everybody go follow Hotel
Oh.
Fiction.
Be our
Hit us up.
10,000th.
If you're our 10,000th, we'll give you a prize.
It is the 16th.
It is the 16th,
Oh.
yeah.
Look at that.
We got
got there.
Louisville, Kentucky, Chicago, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., Nantucket, New York, how do you say that?
Amagansett.
Amagansett? Oh my God. Amagansett? I've never heard of that. And then,
It's the Hamptons.
oh.
We think.
Nice.
We think.
We'll find out. Philadelphia, Bethlehem, Richmond, and Charlotte. You guys got a lot of dates coming up.
Yes.
Y'all have toured a lot
Yes.
over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest piece of like tour lesson you've gotten?
We have so many.
I
I'm
know.
sure.
Like, I feel like we were just saying we could write a book about it.
Okay, a big one is, this was one we learned in February. And I feel like
The hour
any
one?
musician listening, yeah, you have to build in oh shit time, but like way more than you think. Like if you
Add an hour to every 3 hours of a trip
yeah.
is the
like
rule.
driving
Yeah.
specifically?
So if you have a 6-hour drive, you have to budget 8. And maybe 8.5 because we're all going to leave 30 minutes late. So the leave time should be 8.5 hours
Yeah,
earlier,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And that was a big game changer because we would spend, I mean, if you're touring all the time and spending every single day, like rushing to the venue, we didn't realize at the time how stressful that was. But when we kind of like, our manager Sam was like, y'all got to try shooting earlier and not for on time. And that made February so much smoother just by like being able to take
not
our
being
time.
in a rush
Yeah.
for like, if you're in a rush for a whole month, it's really stressful and wears on
yeah,
you.
that feeling of anxiety.
And we also just learned that we actually like getting places early because we can do our makeup, we
Explore.
can eat lunch and sit
Yeah,
down and
chill.
just like have some chill time, which is rare to find on tour.
I know, because like before we'd literally roll in, already be late, have to load in, blah blah, blah eat. Like the whole night becomes you feel behind,
Right.
You know, so we got to explore some cool cities just because we got there early.
That's some really good practical advice.
Yeah.
It's like something you wouldn't necessarily think of until you've done it 12 times in a month and you're like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like another one would be like build your own alone time because it's really hard to find. Like I kind of think of putting my AirPods in the van as like alone time, and it
Totally.
feels like it. Like if you close your eyes, no one's there, you know.
Yeah.
And we were recently talking about how like when you start touring, you all kind of like want to stick together and want to always be talking because like we love each other and it's fun. But it's cool that like we can kind of all go off and do our own things, especially if we get there early.
Right.
And it's okay to just like go off and take some time to yourself. Like no one's gonna be offended by that. Everybody understands and wants everyone to feel like rejuvenated with some alone time.
Yeah. And I think just with that, like make sure the people you do tour with are the kind of people that are you can spend 8 to 12 hours a day with.
Totally.
Otherwise,
And that's not
you're
everybody.
gonna pull your hair off.
It
No.
really isn't.
It's pretty rare to find somebody that you can spend that
And
much
to
time
be
with.
fair,
Yeah.
too, like it, maybe like at the start, everyone isn't, you know, like I think when we first started touring, we were all very different, and now we've kind of settled into our places, and like, I guess, I don't know, it kind of feels like family now touring.
It does.
Everyone feels like brothers, sisters, you know.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
mean, you know each other so well at this point.
yeah.
Yeah. Especially like we recently did a run where it was just me, Jade, Gideon, and Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, it felt so comfortable.
Totally.
Like we were all pretty low energy for that run just because none of us felt like we had to be high energy.
It's very last minute.
Yeah.
We had to wake up at 6 a.m. We were very tired.
Yeah.
But it was awesome, and we killed it as a
We
4-piece. But yeah, it's just like we know each other so well, and we know what makes each other upset, and like how long it'll last, and like you know, it's like
You're like, he's mad at me, but I know it's only
It's
a few
like,
more
okay.
hours. He'll forget about
5 more
it.
minutes, it'll blow over. but it's also like we can talk about anything with each other, and like I don't know, have a very open and honest relationship with each other, which is really nice. I couldn't imagine just like being in a band of people that aren't your best friends and having to bottle and stuff for that long.
That's another big lesson is like if you are in a band, the more you can openly communicate, the better. Because like if you are traveling every single day together, like anything that's swept under the rug isn't really swept under the rug. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like everyone is aware of every dynamic happening. So the more you can talk about it, the better, because like it's not a mystery to anybody if you're all traveling together for that long.
It's all right there.
It's all right there. So why not just like be open with each other, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
A lot of good practical and spiritual advice. What would you say to somebody that has never gone on tour? They want to plan their first tour. What's something they might overlook that you want to make sure that they really have ready to go? I mean, leaving early, that's a great piece of advice right there.
Yeah. I mean, leaving early. I feel like the communication part of it is important. Like we're not always good at it, but like we try to advance our shows like a week ahead of time. And I feel like I've heard, especially if you're starting out and you're, you know, emailing promoters and venues, it can still, like, even if you confirm something, it's important to like kind of remind them, hey, we're coming. Because I've even heard horror stories of showing up and the venue promoter's like, wait, you guys are coming today, you know? Or it's just like always making sure you didn't get your lines crossed. You know, communicating with other bands, like, can we use your drum kit, or do you want to use our drum kit?
Right.
I feel like getting that all sorted out ahead of time is important.
And
That's a good
also
call.
like duct taping all your gear. I think
Yes.
it's so hard to keep up with everything because there's so much.
And we just keep getting more too.
Yeah, so it's been hard not losing everything.
Right.
Keeping up with things. It's definitely the tiny chords that always get lost and left behind.
Yeah, the tiny little, like the guitar stand. You're like, it's the third one.
Yeah. No, for
I think
sure.
that's one of the hardest parts of tour is being in a constant state of like, do I have everything? 'Cause it's like the venue, you're leaving, you're like, fuck, I think I forgot something. And then you're at this person's house that you're staying at and you're like, God, where are all my things? Like
Right.
trying to just constantly get all your stuff back in the van is actually a total mental struggle.
It's really interesting because when you're on vacation, you're like, okay, what are my most important things? My phone, my wallet, my toothbrush, my makeup.
Right.
And then when you're on tour, you're like, okay, my keyboard, my guitar, like
Every
phone.
pedal.
Phone
yeah.
is very low.
It's
on
so
like
low.
the
Right.
importance.
Right.
And so I'm always losing my phone because I have so many more important things to think about. But
Yeah, there's
definitely
so much
toothbrush
money
gets
in
left
like
behind
one
a lot.
instrument.
It's true. Oh, and insure your gear. That's another tip.
Insure your gear.
Yeah, like it's not as expensive as you'd think to insure your gear for a year. I think we use like Music Pro insurance or something.
Okay.
But I'm somebody who just worries all the time, like, oh, the van's gonna get broken into.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, like somebody's gonna leave something here, and just it really added a lot of peace of mind for me as kind of an anxious person to be like, okay, the van might get broken into, but our gear's insured. It's okay.
And there have been a lot of vans broken into.
Yeah, every time you see another like Instagram thing.
Yeah, it's like every other week there's an Instagram page from a band that's like, hey guys, we got our gear stolen.
It sucks because it's already just hard enough on the road.
Of course. And
And-
then to like lose the thing that's going to make you money
I know.
and like bring you joy.
It just like breaks
very
my heart every
evil.
time. Yeah.
It's evil.
Yeah.
To do that.
To do that.
Our van, in fact, has some break-in history.
Really?
With a previous band, yeah.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
We bought it from the Stews. Shout out the Stews.
Shout out.
And they actually got broken into twice in
Oh,
one
no.
tour, like 2 days apart or something.
Wow.
And the second time, the people like were trying to like hotwire the car, I think, and like totally busted the ignition. Like it was like the most tour nightmare thing
Dude.
I'd ever heard.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely send you into just a funk. It'd be like, I just want to go home.
I know.
I don't even know if they could get home. Like it was
Yeah,
like
I mean, if they
Yeah.
mess up your car like that too.
Mm-hmm.
What a bummer. But insure your instruments.
Yes.
That's a pretty
Yes.
solid piece of advice. I would have never thought about that.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
extends to if they get broken into here. It's also insured. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Cool. Well, you guys ready to take it to the last 5? Or I'll just ask you 5 quick questions and
Yeah.
we'll be done.
Let's do it.
Totally.
All right, cool. So we have a bowl
Oh.
of questions.
Wait, this is so fun.
I used to like write them all down like and just ask them normally, but then I thought this was more fun. So let you guys go ahead, pick one at a time. Let the universe decide what questions
This
we're going
is
to
one?
answer
Okay,
today.
this is one. Oh, this is our conversation. Perfect album front to back.
Ooh,
Oh, that's so
Ooh.
hard.
no skips.
I gotta say Metal by Pink Floyd.
Ooh, wow.
That's my all-time favorite.
Really?
And it's
I
so
don't think
short.
I've listened to that whole one.
It's so good. It's only 6 songs. Of course, the last song is 30 minutes long.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a sec.
It's
but
like
a
the
long
whole
album.
second side.
Yeah.
But it's perfect in every way, I think.
I think my uncle has that on vinyl from like when it came out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because he used to
That's so cool.
smoke a lot of drugs and listen to Pink Floyd.
As
And be
everyone
addict.
did in
Floyd's
the
Yeah.
only for
70s.
people smoking drugs.
Yeah, yeah. Who would have thought? What do you think?
There's
Jess?
too many. I feel like it's like one for every category.
That's fine. You don't have to only pick one.
Yeah, I
You
feel
can
like
pick multiple.
so the first thing that comes to my mind, but it's different every time somebody asks me this, is like I went on this solo beach trip over a year ago with our old fan Maggie to Florida, and I had this cassette of Tapestry by Carole King.
Nice.
And I'd listened to it before all the way through, but I just feel like I hadn't really perceived it all the way through, and it's totally a no skips album.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so good. And it has a little bit of everything, and I feel like I'd kind of seen it one-dimensionally before, but
Right.
there's just so many bangers, so many like slow songs,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a really good album.
It is funny when an album hits you later. Like
Yeah.
you liked it before, but then later you realize, oh, this is actually like way, way better than I could have imagined.
Totally.
Like it scratches all these new itches you didn't know you had.
I know. And I feel like that's almost every time you listen to a new album
Right.
that you haven't revisited in a while. It's like, it's got a new aspect you haven't
Yeah.
noticed.
Yeah, because you've changed. So
Yeah.
it's like the way you're listening to it is different.
True.
It's kind of a reflection of yourself in a way.
Yes. I like
We're getting
that.
really deep here today.
You know, I think about that a lot actually, about music, just how in recent, I don't know, days with all of the Taylor Swift stuff going on, the huge concert, or just
yeah.
like also when celebrities get canceled, and how like terrible it is when it's musicians specifically, because your music is just their music. You really take it to heart, and you're like, this means something to me. How can these people be bad people? Or
Right.
whatever. It's very interesting. But I feel like, yeah, that's also the cool part about music, I guess, is that it's just, you really can feel it on such a personal level, even though you don't know the people
Yeah.
personally. It's like crazy that an artist from the 70s, you know,
I know.
completely different life, different world. It's like, this is relevant
Still
to my
resonate.
life.
Yeah, it
No.
can still resonate with you.
It's really crazy. And like, I think about how, at least for me, I like associate a lot of songs with, or albums with time periods. Like I'll listen to a
Sure.
specific song and can picture exactly like where I was when that song was the most inspiring. And it's cool to think that like that is so different for everybody. Like
Yeah.
what they picture or what they were experiencing when they heard that music for the first time.
That's true.
So it
Like
always
the
like takes
reasons
them
why it
back
connects
there.
you
Yeah.
can be kind of similar. Like,
Right.
I feel like for me, some of my favorite albums ever do have a specific time and place where like it clicked the
Yeah.
hardest, but they don't always necessarily take me back there, because they keep coming back in different ways, and I keep listening to it in different ways, whereas some albums that I do love, I hear it and I only think about that one time period, because for some reason in that moment I listened to it constantly and then never really came back to it.
Yeah.
Does that happen for y'all, where it's like this one thing
Yes,
always takes
totally.
me to Myrtle Beach or
It's
wherever?
really like special, I think. And I regret that I feel like I've overplayed those
Mm.
Well, I was gonna.
songs that I found.
I like sometimes purposely won't play them.
Well, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
thinking.
yeah.
like, I
You
gotta
gotta
save this
restrain
for
yourself.
like
Like-
when I really want to feel
Yeah,
the
like-
nostalgia.
The Beatles, though, and Metal by Pink Floyd
Yeah.
is like that for me. And I'm just like, I've listened to those records so much because I
Right.
love them so much. But there was a time when I first found them and I was like, oh, my mom played this as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, I wish I could still like listen to it, not for the first time, but for the second time, remembering the first time you listened to
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah, when you're like, oh, wait a second, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like when you
Totally.
realize, and then the next few times just hit so nice.
It's like really intense,
Yeah.
taking you back. you
I
know?
wish there was like some albums that we just listened to as kids that we haven't found yet, and we're just like waiting to find them.
I
Right.
know.
Exactly. So wait,
Maybe
what
there
was
are.
Maybe.
what was your answer?
Oh, Tapestry.
Tapestry. That's right. Metal by Pink Floyd, and which Beatles album, or just
All of them,
all of them?
honestly.
Just all of them, the whole discography.
Yeah.
Sergeant Pepper's a pretty good one. You can
Yeah,
look
it's a
that up.
classic.
Honestly, I think though that like Sgt. Pepper, Abbey Road, and like the White Album are my favorites, I guess.
It's a good three.
But I feel like as a kid, I listened more to like Yellow Submarine and Magical Mystery Tour, like some of the ones that
Right.
are more like, you know, fun, I guess.
Yeah.
For children, honestly.
Yeah,
So I feel like I don't listen to those as much for that reason,
same.
to
Yeah.
preserve those memories.
Yeah, Yellow Submarine is, as an adult listening back to it, I'm like, all right, this is definitely a kid song. But,
Yeah.
but Ringo went
that's
hard on it. So.
I remember as a kid, like a really young kid, when my parents would play the Beatles and stuff like that specifically, I like kind of thought that they made kids music on
yeah.
purpose. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, the Beatles are
Me
a kids
too.
music band. But I think pretty soon after I realized they weren't.
Yeah. Then you hear Helter Skelter and you're like, this is terrifying. This is so scary.
It definitely shows their range though.
That's
they
true.
do it all.
They got range. And I think people who do want to say they're overrated don't realize the range they have.
How can they be overrated if they have something for everybody? I don't know.
Answer that, haters.
Maybe they are overrated because they have something for everybody. I don't know. Maybe.
No. Let's not go down that. Let's just say they're not overrated.
I agree.
Yeah. Perfectly rated.
Perfectly rated.
Perfectly rated.
Let's check out question number 2.
Jade, would you like to do the honors?
Sure.
It's a great idea.
Thank you. Yeah. It's also less pressure on me to like have to try to come up with a bunch of questions.
Amen.
Oh, favorite live show you've seen?
Oh, these are all hard. These are all really hard.
They're all going to
questions.
be like that.
I feel like a couple come to mind for me. Seeing the Killers at Music Midtown, I think was
Nice.
one of the best memories.
Somebody was just telling me
ever.
about that the other
Really?
day. Yeah.
It was
Can't
just
remember.
so magical. And
I wish
Was
I was
that
there. So
a year
bad.
ago or 2 years ago?
No,
This
it
was in
like
high school.
5.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think they're coming to Shaky Knees, like
Oh, again?
tonight or
gosh.
tomorrow.
Oh, wait.
Oh, it's right now?
Maybe.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think Brandon's in town for Shaky
think-
Knees. I feel like that's why I know.
Brandon Halter.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brandon Halter.
We
Shout
love you,
out,
Brandon
Brandon.
Halter.
Super guy.
But
I
yeah.
heard Brandon gave my friend free Chipotle because she had a Hotel Fiction hoodie on the other day. So thanks, Brandon.
Dude, what a guy.
Hit up Chipotle. Maybe he'll be working at the one you happen by.
Wear your Hotel Fiction merch to Alpharetta Chipotle and see what happens.
Yeah. By the way, the Killers.
Sorry, Brandon.
The Killers are playing tonight.
Wow.
Literally
Dang.
tonight
What
in
the
Atlanta.
heck?
Yeah.
Should we sneak in?
Yeah, sneak in.
Maybe.
Say, do you know who I am?
We cover your song.
Looking
Yeah.
for I don't know. I mean, I feel like so many of the concerts I saw when I was really young stick with me as favorites because it was just such a new and special thing. And I feel like I've gone through a lot of waves of like really heavy inspiration. So one of them was like in college with Jade, but then another was like when I was in the 4th grade. I was discovering like rock on my own for the first time. I was really into like AC/DC. That was my favorite. And I really wanted to start a band. It was like my dream. So I was like always in class, like drawing all these different band logos for
Nice.
this band, Sugar Rush, which was my first band.
Sugar Rush.
So
pretty
yeah.
good.
And then at some point, my friend's dad was like, I have tickets to see AC/DC. Do you want to go? And so me and my friend Melanie went to go see AC/DC, and it was so crazy and so good. And like, it was just a whole new world for me. Like, there were cannons of fire.
Whoa.
And like, of course, it was just
It's wild.
It was so awesome. And then like all the girls behind us were like taking their shirts off, and we were in the 4th grade, and we were like, what the heck is going on? Like,
Whoa.
this place is scary.
Oh my
All these
God.
heathens.
But it was just very inspiring. And another one like that was actually also, I think in the 4th grade or 5th grade, my mom took me to Green Day. And
wow.
I was also going through a big Green Day phase.
Nice.
A very long Green Day phase.
Yeah.
And like this person, I don't know, like we were in the back, way back of the place, and this lady was handing out like free tickets to the mosh pit. And I was like so young, and my brother was in the 3rd grade, but my mom was like, do you guys want to go to the mosh pit? And so it was wild.
It's a great mom right there.
I know. Shout out Lori. We got sprayed with like water and beer, and like it was kind of insane in there. And I couldn't
Wow.
see anything, but we were like 10 feet away.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was great. Yeah.
Hey, so AC/DC. Pretty solid answer.
I guess
And
like,
Green Day.
Yeah. Recently too, we saw Stevie Nicks at Bonnaroo.
Oh, I was
you
gonna,
did?
yeah, that one
and
crossed my
that
mind.
was magical.
With like all of our friends.
Does she get to play Fleetwood Mac songs?
Yeah.
She's able to.
She did.
Did play some, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what goes into that though.
Right.
I'm curious because I've seen Fleetwood Mac, which is like doesn't tour Stevie Nicks.
Right.
And then
Right.
I've seen Stevie Nicks, and neither of them played The Chain. So I feel like there's just like written in somewhere that no
That
one can
nobody
play
can
that
play that.
song.
Damn.
Oh, that's sad.
It's
That's
very
such a great
sad.
song.
Or maybe they're like, we can only play this together.
I didn't really see
Yeah. Didn't they do a tour though in
That's
like
awesome.
2015, 2016 where they were all together?
Oh.
I feel like that
They
was
did
the one I
one.
went to, but
Right.
but
Stevie
Stevie
wasn't
Nicks
there?
wasn't there. But the rest of them were.
Weird. I thought they were all there together. In like 2016, it was like the one time they
Oh,
had played.
no.
Maybe not. You saw him, so you would know.
Yeah, or maybe she just wasn't there for the one
Yeah.
show that I saw, but I don't know. I thought it was weird that she wasn't there. So
She's doing her own witchy thing, I guess.
probably
Yeah.
catching
Yeah,
spells
it was a full
somewhere.
moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it that
Can't
night.
make
Sorry.
it.
Let's check out question number 3.
Whoa. Oh gosh. Fantasy supergroup.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I feel like we could build this.
Like band that we're
Band,
in.
yeah. Well, I was thinking just band.
I was
thinking
band in
of
general.
like 3 or 4
Okay.
musicians.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh baby. It's definitely gonna be some 70s combo.
Yeah.
Or should we challenge ourselves and take it to
I feel like it could be modern.
okay, no old
No
musicians
oldies.
allowed. No oldies.
No
allowed.
oldies.
All right.
AARP. None of that.
Okay. We're gonna have multiple singers, obviously. There's gonna be
Get some
a lot.
harmonies,
Yeah,
for
some
sure.
harmonies, some switch
Okay.
off songs.
Does Julian Casablanca count as an oldie?
Ooh, that's like right on the cusp.
He seems forever young to me.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like we could
We'll allow
like
it.
put him as an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
he's
can like
in the
put
boat.
out all our options and then be like, who would work together?
Right,
well?
right. You can always narrow it down.
I want Madeline from Flipturn on bass.
Oh, heck yeah.
Nice.
Madeline from Flipturn.
She's our
on the
bassist.
bass. I feel like Julian
I need to get them
Casablanca
in
just
here.
as like a writer.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
like writing
Maybe
in the
he's
group.
just in the room. He's not performing, but I feel like he should be performing.
should be.
If
He's
I
just
also-
there smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Hanging.
I keep like staring at your Wilco
Oh, yeah.
sign, so I keep thinking
Oh, man,
Wilco.
they're
but-
definitely older.
Yeah,
oldies.
yeah,
They are.
They're oldies.
Yeah, some old men.
I mean, okay.
This is a tough one.
I feel like Kevin Parker also in there.
Ooh,
Why not? Yeah.
Why not? Tame
True.
and Paula. But then it's like, wow, we have a lot of different vibes
Yeah.
going.
I think we need
I feel
somebody with
like-
like a killer voice. His voice is fine. Like, it's fine.
King Princess
Oh,
Ooh.
interesting.
singing.
King Princess and Indigo D'Souza
Yeah.
are singing / harmonies.
Yeah, there's got to be one other
Yeah.
female singing with them though.
Yeah.
We're just making like the alternate Boy Genius right now.
We're
Yeah.
definitely missing a drummer right now.
True.
Yeah, it is alternate Boy Genius, but like from everywhere.
Yeah,
to
might
think
as
of
well
a
just
good
have
drummer.
Boy Genius in there too.
Yeah, somebody from Boy Genius.
I
mean,
don't
Lucy
know.
Dacus
I know. I
would
feel like
be-
I would choose
This is
Lucy.
pulling it everywhere for me. Like,
Oh,
So we got Indigo D'Souza. We got, who's the other one you
King
just said?
Princess.
King Princess. I think that'd be great. I think it'd be great to have
Kevin Parker.
Kevin Parker
Kevin Parker
as like
Julian Casablanca.
guitarist / like nerd brain of the.
Yeah,
Totally, yeah.
Oxman
The production,
/
yeah.
guitarist. Okay.
And then
He's
let's
got
do
synths.
drummer, and then one other vocalist.
Okay. Because my brain keeps going like
Gideon-
giant
yeah.
bands to like local bands.
Gideon Johnson.
I know.
on
I'm
drums.
like
I know.
Gideon
I was
Johnson,
thinking Gideon Johnson
or like
on the
Noah
drums.
Pope. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like both kind of local drummers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to really think about drummers.
I know.
Steve Jordan
No.
is like one of the drummers I know. I don't know any like that's the only one I know off the top of my head.
I know. If
And
you're a
he's
drummer,
older.
sorry we don't know any drummers. Like
I know.
I can picture drummers, but
Right.
oh well, there's Marshall Vore, who's Phoebe's drummer.
Oh yeah.
He's a
Boom.
good drummer.
Also
Let's go with
Devin.
that.
Also, oh yeah,
Slay.
Devin. True.
Devin from Flipturn.
Our band is just Flipturn.
Yeah.
Our fantasy band.
And then
Who are we missing? We've got bass.
singer.
We've got drums.
One more singer.
One more singer.
Okay.
Man. I'm trying to think who I've like seen live. I feel like someone with like a really good stage presence, you know.
Yeah.
Someone...
Samia.
Oh,
has
yeah.
really cool
She
stage
does have really
presence.
cool stage presence.
Her and Indigo D'Souza
Whoa.
in the same room. I mean, I feel like cool things would happen.
Yeah.
I've never really
Definitely.
listened to Samia. I need to
She's
check
I
her
feel
really
like
out.
cool.
she would like add some killer harmonies.
Yeah.
Like
Agreed. And dance moves.
And I feel
Always
like
important.
King Francis would like kind of hold the low register.
Yeah.
Samia's
Yeah.
got the high, and Indigo D'Souza has like the mid range.
You're so right.
Boom, there you
We
go.
didn't
There
even
you
need
go.
to do that. We
Yeah.
did that.
We did that.
We just created alternate Boy Genius.
Are we missing another guitarist, or are we? I think.
Well, they can play
this is
guitar
like,
in it too.
Yeah, you're right.
One of those three.
Oh,
And then
absolutely.
Kevin's on. Well, I guess he could be doing bass.
I think this is
Maybe
like
that's
an
it.
in-person
Julian
band.
Casablanca. I don't
Oh, yeah,
really know
true.
if he actually plays guitar does he play
think
lead
so.
though? Or does he just play rhythm? Or does he just frontman it out?
I don't. Oh, who?
I've also seen the Strokes live and I just can't remember.
Yeah, now I'm wondering.
He doesn't
too.
play anything.
Okay,
He just stands and sings.
that's what I remember. I feel like I remember him holding like a bottle of something
Yeah.
just to
Yep.
For
That
vibes.
just
sounds about right. Yeah.
swaying, singing.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Cool.
Answers
I
right
think
there.
we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do question 4.
I feel like
You get to pick this time.
Oh, I get to pick. Ooh. Okay.
if you add in some like 100 Gek to the mix,
This is chaos.
Yeah. Now it's cracked out.
no,
Just
it's
like a
just noise.
100 gag on one song.
Yeah. All right. Number 4. Ooh, I like this one. Unexpected musical influence.
100 gags.
There
yeah,
you go. I
100,
mean,
100 Gek.
yeah, that's not a bad answer right there. Because none of y'all stuff really sounds like
No.
even close to that.
No.
But
It's not
I said
so
we have a
out.
bunch of albums in our future. I feel like there's a hyperpop album in our future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically, Ethan continues to ask for a hyperpop album.
Mm-hmm.
Shout
There
out,
you
Ethan.
I could see y'all throwing a little hyper pop in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe some like pop though is maybe
Yeah.
like we'll like, you know, oh, we should have put Remy Wolf in the band.
Oh,
Hell yeah, dude.
she's so
She
in
needs
the
to be
band.
there.
Is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes
she's,
sense.
She's a part of this band.
Sick.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking like Remy Wolf, Julian Casablanca, Kevin Parker, and I don't know. I guess all of them together.
Yeah. Them 3 would work.
more of a
well
She's just such a
Collective.
powerhouse that I'm like,
Yeah,
she doesn't
she's
need any
awesome.
vocals.
Yeah. She's doing her own backup vocals.
Dang. Okay. I'm still thinking about this band thing. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But
I really like picturing them playing a
Right,
show
right.
and it's chaos.
I know.
A lot of characters up there.
I know. Unexpected influences though.
I'm very blues influenced in my playing. You
Yeah.
know, Chicago Joe's
Chicago
Rock and Blues
Joe's, dude.
Camp. I don't know if that counts as expected.
Yeah.
I feel like we mostly pull from rock and just things that aren't blues, especially with writing.
Right.
But with guitar, it definitely makes its way in there. And I have a
course.
soft spot for blues.
Yeah.
I feel like
Where it all started.
yeah, like Vince Guaraldi for me, piano.
Oh yeah. That album is the best Christmas album of all time.
It is. It really
It's
is.
the only one I ever listened to.
No, same.
Like
It's
the only Christmas
the only
music.
one. I don't get annoyed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
That
so
song,
pretty.
Ice Skating, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, some jazz, some blues.
Nice.
It's making its way in there.
Yeah.
And what did you say for unexpected?
I guess I said blues in general.
Just blues in general, yeah.
But I
Because your stuff
mean-
isn't bluesy, but it is all kind of rooted
yeah.
in that.
And I guess like a lot of rock. All rock pretty much came from blues in a way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just under it all.
Cool. Well, hell yeah. Last question of the 150th episode
Would you
is
like to
going
do
to
the
be
honors?
Oh gosh.
Hotel Fiction chooses.
Okay. Let's see. What's on your musical rotation? So I
Nice.
guess what are we listening to now?
Yeah,
That's a
what
great
are
way
you
to end
listening
it.
to right now? Yeah.
We were listening to some Blonde Shell.
Yeah, some Blonde Shell. Julian
I love
Jacqueline.
that name.
Julia
I've never listened to her though. Yeah, Julia Jacqueline's
It's
cool.
a very cool name.
So good. Big
Um,
Thief.
Oh, yeah, Big
Nice.
Thief's new album.
Very good.
Jade just bought it for me on vinyl.
Aw,
And I'm very excited.
that's so sweet.
It's a Jade gives good
big album.
presents. It is
It's
a really
great
big album. Indigo D'Souza's new album, I feel like I'm just now diving into. So,
I
don't
to
even have notes
give
on
her
it
a
yet.
listen. Yeah.
yeah, she's really cool.
Her album covers kind of freak me out.
Oh,
They're
they're crazy.
a little scary.
The little naked skeleton
yeah,
people.
yeah, a little
They're
scary.
so cool.
No, it's
though.
awesome. I love whatever
Yeah, I
artist.
need
Does
to
her
get
mom
past
paint
it.
them? I
Does
feel like her
she?
mom paints them, but I don't
Oh,
know if I can back that up. I'm
I
pretty
have
sure.
no idea. That's
Her mom's
awesome.
an
That'd be
though.
cool.
artist. Yeah. It's
Having your
really
mom be your creative director.
Yeah, I know that's what
crazy.
Gracie does with Lighthearted. She
Yeah.
takes her mom's artwork and kind of edits it.
That's right. Yeah, she was saying that.
It's very sick.
Also, the new Lighthearted album has
Oh,
been
yeah.
Rules,
heavy
dude. Yeah,
rotation.
shout out to
Listening
Lighthearted.
to that a lot.
Yeah, listen to that episode if you haven't yet, everybody.
I haven't yet, so
There
I will.
you go. It's fun,
Same.
dude. They're awesome. They're so sweet, and that
Yeah.
album is like.
It's so good.
I feel like they're
So well
underplaying how fantastic it is.
No, it's awesome.
I know. Do you know they have vinyl coming out? Maybe.
Do
I
they?
don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I don't know. I don't know when it's coming out, but I really want that album
Dang.
on vinyl
Me
because
too.
I feel like
It sounds so good on
yeah,
vinyl.
it would sound amazing.
We don't know if that's 100% true. Don't
Sorry
sue
if
us,
I
Lighthearted. But that
you can redact that.
it would be nice, wink, wink, if you did, because we would all buy it.
Yep.
3 people in this room will buy it.
Yeah, that is I mean, it'd be a great album to have on vinyl.
I know.
Like, sitting fireside,
Totally.
throwing that on.
Sip some tea.
Yeah, some hot cocoa or something.
And a lot of that was made here, actually, right? In this
I
home?
think so. Yeah, in this house. Yeah, it's
lot of
very
music's been
blessed to be
made in
like
this
living in a
home.
house full of historic tunes, including y'all's. I mean, like I said, listening. I still remember listening to Athens, Georgia for the first time in that room. Like, I think we just went to Taqueria del Sol.
Yep.
And we
Yep.
came back, and he's like, "Oh, you want to hear what we've been working on?" I was like, "Of course." And then he played that, and was like, I was trying to play it cool. And be like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." And inside, I'm like, "This is face melting. This song rocks."
That's so sweet.
Yeah, so it feels very full circle to have you guys here for the 150th
Thank you.
episode. I appreciate y'all coming in. I know you're going to Europe tomorrow.
We
Yes.
are.
So we squeezed in. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's been a blast having you guys on. Everybody needs to listen to enjoy your stay.
And everyone needs to listen to Parker's music too.
Well, thank you.
Similarly, face melting. First time we
you.
listen to your song.
I appreciate that. And also catch you guys on tour in
Yes,
June.
June. We'll
Lots
see you
of June
there.
dates. I'm
It's
hoping
gonna
to
be
catch
crazy
something.
few months.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I wish
We are
you
not prepared.
No, we have not packed.
You just got to take your own advice. Get there
Exactly.
early.
True.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Airport early.
Airport
Airport
early.
early. There you go. Jess and Jade, thank you again for coming on. 150th episode. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of
Happy
the day, y'all.
150th.
Thank you.
He's a hologram, Space Jam, and on the moon.
Thank you again for tuning into the newest episode of On That Note with Parker Whirling. Remember, not only can you listen to the episodes on Apple Podcast and Spotify, but you can also watch the episodes on my YouTube channel, which is linked in the description below. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time.
Call me up and tell me all about your